Hello, I'm Joel Leonard, and we're here for another edition of Skill TV. I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio, actually Euclid, at the Lincoln Electric corporate headquarters. And I've got their marketing team, and they're giving me an interesting perspective as to what Lincoln does and how they do it here at this facility. We're going to be taking a tour of the welding operation here shortly. What we're going to look at right now is some of the history of Lincoln Electric. And Lincoln has been around for over 100 years now?
Started in 1895.
And you are?
Started Chris Ilcin.
Chris Ilcin?
Yep.
And?
Dan Ziemnik.
Dan Ziemnik. And you guys are in what division?
Marketing Communications.
Marketing Communications, all right. Here at the welding experts at Lincoln Electric.
But like most everyone, including our CEO, I started on the floor. So.
You guys believe in going up as opposed to going down in the industry.
Yeah.
A lot of companies like to start them up and then they realize they need to push them down. You guys work your way up, so that's great. All right.
This is actually a cool picture. This is the first arc welded building in the United States. It was made here in Cleveland, and you'll notice what their sales pitch was then is that it was erected silently because you didn't have guys pounding in bolts and the rivets 24/7, 365.
And an arc weld. For people that don't know.
Arc welding is basically the application of electricity to two pieces of metal to fuse them together permanently.
Okay.
And in most cases, the weld is actually stronger than the steel was beforehand.
Because of the fusion of the...
Because of the fusion of the metals and the other chemicals that you introduce. So the initial big sales pitch was that it was silent because you didn't have the guys throwing hot rivets and then pounding them in and everything. It also allowed you to make a bigger structure and make it lighter. So.
And that was back when?
That was done, I believe, in the early 20s.
Man. And these are some of the founders?
Yeah, that's James and John Lincoln.
That's fast.
John founded the company and was kind of the creative guy, and he handed it off to his brother James, who introduced piecework and paid vacations. We were one of the first companies that had paid vacations. We've had a bonus since the 1930s. A couple of other great, real innovative work practices.
And these are some of the barges or vessels that were created?
Yeah, we went international in the 30s. We opened up our first factory in Australia in 1938. And we are still today a very, very global company, as you can tell.
Where is this? I've never seen that before.
That is the Petronas Towers, I believe Indonesia. Those used to be the tallest buildings.
Yeah. That's in Malaysia.
By a new one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
that's the Sydney Opera House, and then just some remote welding in India.
This is neat.
That's one of the first sub-arc tractors.
And this actually was a mobile or an automated...
Yeah, it goes along a track, like say you're building a boat, and you got to put the seam on the hull. You lay down these tracks, your tractor comes along and does the weld.
Oh, man.
That's actually the horseshoe that they built out over the Grand Canyon.
It's got a glass bottom.
Oh,
yeah. So you walk out,
the new thing,
down,
yeah.
Yeah, you see down 4,000 feet. That's the Little Giant Ladder Company.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's just some of our production monitoring software. The way welding works today is you can be welding anywhere, and someone else can be monitoring the weld anywhere in the world. They can find out when you're about to run out of your consumable. They can make sure that you're welding within parameters if it's a design-specific weld. How long you're welding, your uptime, your downtime, what kind of arc wave you're using, and they can change it and adapt it and all kinds.
And with nuclear power plants and some of these other things and NASA and all that, that's handy to have. So that's good. All right.
This is just some of the testing we do. That's actually the body frame for the Ford GT. We are also help set up the welding robots that do the NASCAR car tomorrow.
Okay.
And then just some of the innovations we brought to the industry. We've been around, obviously, since the inception of arc welding, so we've been involved in some of the big advances in it.
This is fascinating.
And we've got a fairly long history of working with our customers, coming up with new stuff. You know, this This wire feed welder was actually designed to make it through the portholes in ships and stuff. It's just the kind of things where you sit down with the customer and figure out what they need and figure out a way to make your technology do it.
So you're saying this could transport back and forth through a ship? Is that
Yeah, you can get it through those little portholes and everything. Your power source is off somewhere else. That's where your wire's coming from. And you need to have it as close as possible so you don't get kinks and stuff in the wire. So the old wire feeders were too big to make it through spaces like that. So we figured out a way to make it a little bit smaller and still have that nice rugged case so you can get it into where you work.
That's neat. And welding naturally is important in setting up some of the newer energy and windmills and system.
And then that's the gentleman I was talking about earlier. That's Omer Blodgett, 90 years old, still teaches a class here 3 times a year, still comes into work every day. That's one of our new, it's a distribution and training center in Atlanta, Georgia. We've got a great instructor down there who brings in classes all the time, trains distributors, trains new welders, works with some of the unions on training programs, some of the other trade groups. So we've been teaching almost as long as we've been making.
This is great.